Thank you, Daryl, and thank you, Ian, for bringing me on your show at Free Talk Radio. Is it Free Talk or Free Live Talk Radio? Oh, how embarrassing this is. I just did a whole video for you guys so I can brush you up on things and how it works. But I'm going to end it up and say this, and it's huge. It's not small. I have the basics of it. If you can ask me the basics of the questions that we can get into, but it branches out. It's like leaves on trees. It's like breathing. Wherever you go, you get the air, so wherever I look, I get information. Little bits and bits of information that mean nothing until you start bringing the sides in, the comparative numbers. Words, like the letter M and the letter T. Why don't you say M and T together? Empty. Oh, shit. I thought it was two letters. How about Mr. M and R? But R sounds like Mars. Oh, that's what it is. M and R says Mars, just from the two letters. So I do things like this. Now, what is the relevance? Well, I do everything. Rubik's Cube is not the only thing. There's putting letters on top of letters, putting a letter next to a letter, writing out the alphabet and dividing up the alphabet in different parts, adding in, taking Rubik's Cube, putting numbers on it, and then turning the whole Rubik's Cube this way, and now I got numbers on top that shouldn't be there. No, it's a new sort of equation. A football field might be 100 yards. But if you don't back up 20 yards and 20 yards, you're done. So where are you if you back up 20 yards? You're at the 40-yard line. Well, how do you do that? Well, because you're not in your end zone, and that's 10 yards. And you're not in their end zone, and you're not on their side. So you back up from your own line, 10 yards. So now instead of being at the 50, you're at the 40. So what is that kickoff? You're at the 35? Well, of course, 35 is the egg. 3 by 5 is 15, the letter O. And 3 and 5 is 8. Ho, 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 ho! 8 and 0. Oh, boy. 808, they show them on the cards. What are they? 1 to 9 and 9 to 1 means 8 is the difference between the two is 808. 1 and 9, the center is 5. Yeah, so thanks, guys. There's just a lot of things. I showed a little bit of art. That's my floor I'm working with right now. That's the wall that's in front of it. There are 36 windows, and basically there's the bridge. There's that star leaning on one angle. One point sticking out. Is that part of everything? I don't know. I can't possibly know everything. I can only guess and make up situations. I have to create a situation regardless if it's real or not. Just like they do on TV when they create a show, they have to come around and make everything real. Well, my numbers have to match. When we add up the center of the roulette between 16 and 21, it equals to 111, which is the Twin Towers. Why? Because we didn't count the roof, 111. We forgot about the antenna, which is basically, what, 29 stories? And the antenna height alone, number 29, is a birth of creation. That antenna going out around on 360 degrees at 45 miles. Do you know what the answer to that is? That's insane. I can't even add it up. 45 degrees around, 8 directions, picking up signals all the time. Why 8 directions? Well, between the two sides, they're going to get the finite, the in-between line. But that wouldn't matter, because on some streets, they don't put anything that they really need that communication for. So what does that make? 29 plus 110 is 139. And everybody knows 39 is perfect. TEN is 39. 3 by 3 is 9. Makes 39 perfect again. It's part of the cube. Everything is stretched out. What we think is exactly straight, we calculate everything straight, but I know the Earth is this long. You know what I'm saying? You ever see this? This is basically day and night. This comes from a palette that was 40 by 48. 48 says space. The palette is 40, which is the game of Monopoly. Those two numbers make up the game of Monopoly. Going around the entire Monopoly on the corners, not going deep, but running on the corners, you go 40 times. But when you go to the outside of Monopoly and cover all the corners, there's 13 from one end to the other end. You end up with 48. You get a 48-40 palette, and that's what you got right here, 48-40. All I try to do is bring more reasons for objects to exist. What they do, I mean, if a word, whatever word it is, cafe, a calf. Okay, so there are two complete differences. Now I have to find something further on, and further on, until cap and cafe come together. But cafe does come together. It is the word. That's all it is. It's just a word. At the end of this all, like I said today, is I can't do this all alone. And if I end up writing this book at the end, it's not only going to be because of me, it's going to be because of everything that has surrounded me, anything that I had let surround me. Now, obviously, I can't, if somebody's going to ask me something, or if somebody wants to say something to me, there's no problem. But there's a formation in this, and the basic formation, if anybody wants to learn it, is basically the Jackson 5, ABC 1, 2, 3, Sesame Street, 4114, which is the Mediterranean, DNA, 4141, Highway Safety Code. So these are very important numbers. Number 43, everybody knows, is the Baltic. 41 happens to be the Mediterranean when you start off from go. Equals to 84. 7 by 12 is 84. 7 by 12 is 84 what? 84 days. 7 more plus the 84 equals to 91. Now we have a perfect 13 weeks of 7 days. Because we add on and take off. We make everything square, and then we take something off. Or we make everything square and we're missing, we'll add on. But there's going to be a reason to add it on. I'm not just going to add something on. There's going to be a reason to add it on. Anyways, I'm going out right now. Going to monkey around somewhere else. Or somewhere else. Or wait a second. Hey, that's not a monkey. Works the same thing. What do you think? You ever see this monkey going down? Watch what happens when in the underworld. What happens? Monkey blue is going to go down. Monkey yellow is going to go up. Monkey yellow goes up. Monkey blue goes down. We cannot move. It's like the ocean, my friends, going underneath the earth. I can't see the earth and the moon and the sun in any kind of sequence unless it's run under the matrix system. And the matrix system is not a big thing. It's Rubik's Cube, which is one face of your telephone, which has an explanation in roulette, which has an explanation in the games of blackjack and poker, which has a better understanding to why the wolf howls at the moon, because 5 by 6 is 30, creation, 5 and 6 is 11, spirit, angel of man. Now connecting, and he knows. The total is 41, and that's back to the Mediterranean, the tracking system. I believe there's 2 tracks, the Mediterranean and the Baltic. The other 2 tracks, the cap of the earth, is Russia, R, or Canada. R-A-C, rack. C-A-R, car. A-R-C, arc. I like Russia. I'm a little bit from there. Actually, my grandfather was born out there. Or was he born out there? Well, at least I know he came from there. We're going to leave it at this. I'm going to cut it short. I'm going out. Did I tell you about the baseball? Now, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and you can do whatever you want, but this used to be flat. And if I flatten it out, I can show you the Twin Towers on here. But it's going to be a skinny Twin Towers because of this. All I need to do is get back and chop this piece off there, and then chop this piece off there. Then go to the other side of the board and chop this piece off there, and square it off over here. Voila, Rubik's Cube. I can put the chakras, I can put anything on here. But don't forget, roulette, the balls, whatever you're in roulette, if you say to me 21 and 12, the only thing I'm going to say is 33. They're both red, and you can't bet them as 1. But you can bet them in the column of 12. So the bets you can get in roulette, the bets you make in blackjack, and how blackjack pays off 1.5 times. 1.5 times for the brain gets paid 1.5 times for 6 the person. 2, 2, and 2 is 6. 2 of Venus for 2 parts of Mars, for 2 parts of Saturn makes man. We're either on Mars, or we're on Saturn. Either we're 26 or we're 24. But everybody knows 2 by 4 is 6, and 2 and 4 is 8. I said that wrong, eh? 2 times 4 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. That's 68. That's heaven of man. I always think the 8 stands for the woman's womb. But there's so many things in here. There's so many things. I'm never going to finish. But I hope and I pray that I never give up. And my other prayer is that I can always going to be as kind as I possibly can Because the only way to understand the heart is to know the heart pumps through all your pipes. And when that heart stops pumping the information through those pipes, there's no more love. That means you have to keep the heart running. That means the heart is all love. When this goes up to thinking, your dinky toy goes down. But when you see a chick, it goes up and you're fucked up between the head and below. You don't know which way to go. You want to know different ways we feel? This is a touchy-feely, all the senses of the world. And I will be always nice to everybody. Somebody cuts me off, somebody this. The only time I'll only really get angry, it's pretty simple. Thank you very much, no thank you. Thank you very much, no thank you. And this person would be in my house. What do you want me to do after I said thank you, please leave? And the person doesn't leave. What do you do? When you are forced into a situation, you must pick up another element of the basic of being who you are. Number 9? No. Number 8. Because if you pick up number 9, you become the boss of the creation of the matter inside the reality of number 8. Because number 8 is where everything happens inside of you. You can't come out there and say, "No, I'm number 11." Because number 11 takes over the other corner. It is 1 on the other side of a corner, and it's still 9. But now it's in control. And the minute he makes his action, he makes 13. Control in this world, 2 and 2. 9, 11, 13, 15. And that's the end of the pull balls. 7 and 15. Oh, wait a second. The last 2 balls, 7, 15, 1 and 5, 6. Last one is 7, 7, 6. Both going after the 8 ball, 6, 7, and 8. If you look at the deck of cards, the jacks have 6 eyes. The 7 is the king with 7 eyes, and the queens all have 8 eyes. Raphael, 7286. Thank you.